Everybody, hi, welcome to the A&S Professional Services webinar. My name is Adam Spur and I run the business applications practice here at A&S. I'm delighted on this incredibly hot, sticky day to be joined by Donna Coxon, who's one of our senior solution architects, who will be running things today. So professional services is the biggest sector that we have in the business application space at A&S. Not really surprising, as it's 186 billion industry and accounts for 13% of the UK employment. It is a big sector for us. So this webinar series came about from a survey that we sent out to our professional services customers. And they were concerned, and we asked them what they were concerned about, and they were concerned that less business was being conducted face-to-face, less meetings. How are we going to do business development? How are we going to go and meet our customers? How are we going to get closer to them? And obviously with over half of the world's population now on social media, and specifically over 600 million people being on LinkedIn, social selling is a topic of conversation that we have all the time with our customers, and it's seen as being very important for professional services organizations to thrive, especially in the current situation. So what we're about to explore for the next 20-30 minutes, thanks to Donna, is the relationship between social selling and CRM and the integration between the two. And just a note for your diary, so don't forget to book on to the next event, which is on the 3rd of September, when Mark Sykes, who's a partner at accountancy firm BDO, will be talking about their journey and some of the challenges that they faced. So very, very quickly, 1 minute on A&S for those who don't know us. 300-person organisation founded in 1996, 50-50 split of public and private sector customers, and very proud this year to be Microsoft UK Partner of the Year. So before I hand on to Donna, just to reiterate, professional services customers said, less face-to-face, what are we going to do about business development and prospecting? So today's webinar, we're going to demonstrate how these worlds are intersecting, how you would carry out tasks that you'd usually do on LinkedIn or some other social or social media. But we're going to demonstrate LinkedIn though in its entirety. So sending messages, adding connections, viewing profiles, finding people, unifying some customer data across the customer journey with those touch points and those channels, and then leveraging Sales Navigator search capabilities in order to find who you should be speaking to, find who they're connected to, and find a route into talking to them. So without holding the proceedings up too long, quick introduction. If you do have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll try and answer them in the chat as you come up with them, or obviously type in your questions in the chat and I'll try and get to them as Donna's doing her thing. So Donna, over to you.
Thanks, Adam. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Donna Coxon, solution architect with A&S, and as Adam said, today I'm just going to kind of give you a bit of a walk through some of the integrations between LinkedIn, Dynamics 365, Office 365, and show you what that looks like. Now, I could talk about this for hours because there is so much to show, but I'm going to try and keep it much shorter today. So what I did want to do first of all, though, is just run through a couple of slides just to kind of set the scene. So some of the things we've noticed, we talked to lots and lots of professional services organisations, and we're seeing some common challenges that they're facing. So not only do professional services organisations need to ensure compliance, but they've also got to reduce overheads and enhance productivity at the same time. They're also trying to increase the billable hours, but they're also trying to find new leads and nurture existing clients at the same time. So what I'm going to try and show you is how we can maybe try and balance all of this out using the integration between Dynamics 365, LinkedIn and Office 365. So the combination of those three together is known as the Microsoft Relationship Sales Solution. So basically it gives you a way of combining the power of the three tools, Dynamics 365, Office 365, LinkedIn, to solve some of the challenges that organizations are facing. So it's all about helping you build relationships with the right people, so the right decision makers and the right influencers, giving you insights and recommendations into real customer needs and requirements, and making it easy to manage relationships right the way through that sales process. So effectively, the Microsoft Relationship Sales Solution is a combination of these three tools, and you get some packaged pricing and integration of the three solutions. So just to give you a quick summary of what that looks like before I dive into the demo. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator with Dynamics 365. So what you're able to do is automatically synchronize your accounts, your leads, and your contacts. It will automatically synchronize InMails and messages from LinkedIn into Dynamics. It can also synchronize photos, so you can turn on photo refresh, so it will automatically capture the photographs of the people in LinkedIn as they get updated. You can use this to find ways to interact with people based on their interests. So it's finding icebreakers and common themes and discussion points that you can use to engage with someone better. You can also find out if someone changes organizations. So, so there's a CRM sync and an activity write back that updates back to Dynamics. So you'll see if someone moves into a different company rather than finding that out later on when you come across them again on LinkedIn. But also it helps you find other people like them in their organization. So it will show you people, you know, other connections, similar roles, and people that you may want to connect with. So really this is about knowing when someone posts in LinkedIn, being able to see what their interests are, being able to interact with them to strengthen your relationship with them. And also you can use the Smart Links presentation capability, which I'll show you briefly later, and see when they're viewing content that you've shared. Just to summarize, if you're it's often when we talk about the integration with LinkedIn and Dynamics 365, people get a bit confused about what it actually does and what that integration looks like. So just wanted to summarize it in a really simple screen. So from Dynamics 365, you're synchronizing accounts and leads into Sales Navigator. From Sales Navigator into Dynamics 365, you're bringing in InMails, messages, notes, and the photo refresh. And then you've also got the Sales Navigator app as well, where if you make any outbound calls, you can actually synchronize those back to Dynamics as well. And then I mentioned earlier about Smart Links. What I'll do is I'm just going to post this, excuse me, I'm just going to copy this link into the chat window. If you have time while I'm talking, feel free to go and have a look at this Smart Link presentation. And let's just pop that into the chat window there. Has that gone through okay? So if you can click on that link, and basically I'll show you shortly how we can go and see the analytics. So effectively it's just the presentation that I'm using for today and some other content that I found about Microsoft Relationship Sales, but feel free to go and have a look at that link. And if you click on it, if you are logged into Sales Navigator, we'll be able to see some analytics data. So feel free to go and look at that. And then what I'll also show you as well today is some of the Power BI capabilities. So how you can also do some analytics around your Sales Navigator interactions as well. So let's switch into the demo then. So let's go. I thought what I would do is kind of imagine it's a day in the life of someone who works within a professional services organization, and just take you through how I might use these tools to improve my productivity. So what I've got here is my Outlook calendar. So you can see in my Outlook calendar at 5 o'clock today, I've actually got an appointment. So this is a business outcomes discussion. So I need to do some preparation for my appointment. So let's just open that up, and you can see that actually my appointment is with Adam. He hasn't responded, but I'm sure he'll be there. What is really nice, and
yes, I will.
Thank you. What's really nice is that, again, you'll see the LinkedIn integration with Office 365. So if I just go and hover on Adam's email address, immediately you can see that I've got my little LinkedIn button there. And if I scroll down, I can see some Sales Navigator information here. So I can see the mutual connections, I can see the team link instructions. But if I click on the LinkedIn button as well, within Office 365, I can immediately see Adam's profile from LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So it's just really nice that I can be in Outlook. I don't have to switch into Sales Navigator or LinkedIn. I can just see that information directly within that screen without even having to switch into a different application. So, okay, let's, I've seen that I've got my appointment. I've had a quick look at Adam's profile information. What I'll do now is I'm actually going to open up that appointment in Dynamics 365. So let me just go and find my appointments for today. And there we go. Let's open up my appointment. And what I can see here, when my screen loads, just do a quick refresh. I clearly haven't been using it enough in the past 10 minutes. What is it about us? The second I share my screen, the screen doesn't load. There we go. Okay, so here I can see the opportunity that this relates to. So I've got an appointment with Adam, but now I can see that it actually relates to an opportunity that I'm working on with Adam's organisation. So now I can open up my opportunity and start to see some information about the deal that we're actually working on. So within Dynamics, I can see a summary of the deal. I can see it's regarding sales automation for December. I've got an estimated budget. I can see my estimated revenue, the estimated date that this deal will close. Over on the right hand side, I can see I've got an upcoming meeting, and that's the meeting that we saw in my calendar just now. You'll also notice that I can start to see that I have a poor relationship with Adam, but it's steady, so it's consistently poor. But the relationship analytics effectively are looking at all the communications that I've had with Adam, and they're analysing the state of my relationship. So again, this is really key to helping me identify where I need to improve my communications and reach out a bit more. And what I can see here is my next interaction is my meeting, and my last interaction was a discussion about the upcoming meeting. I can also see who the other stakeholders are within the sales team. So I can see that I've got a solution architect working on this deal and also an industry expert as well. So got lots of information about that opportunity. Within the middle of the screen, I've got a kind of a timeline of all the activities that have happened here. And you'll notice I sent an email to Adam on Monday, which he opened immediately. So that's quite encouraging. And if I open that email, what I can actually see from the email engagement is I can see that he opened it twice, but he hasn't actually clicked on the link that I sent him. So he hasn't looked at my smart link, and he hasn't opened any of my attachments. So that's quite useful. That's useful information. So I can see that he opened my email, but I maybe need to resend him the smart link or encourage him to take a look at that. Okay, you'll also notice then that I've got my LinkedIn Sales Navigator tab up here. So I've looked at the information about the opportunity. Let's now go and have a look at the LinkedIn Sales Nav information. So again, embedded directly within Dynamics without me having to navigate to another solution or another tool, I can see all of the information from LinkedIn Sales Navigator here. So the first thing I can see is Adam's profile again. So here I can actually look at the key information relating to Adam, and if he's not yet a lead in Sales Navigator, I can save him as one from here. So if you've got someone who is a lead or a contact who you haven't yet saved as a lead in Sales Nav, you can do that directly from the screen. Within this member profile, I can also see icebreakers. So I can see Adam's recent activities. So I can see that an hour ago he shared an article about Teddy University. I can see that he shared an article about track and trace, and I can go through and see some of the things that Adam has been posting on LinkedIn. I can also see the connections that we share, so relationships that we have in common. We both work at ANS. We're in 9 similar groups. So I can see lots of information there, and what I can also do is I can use the get introduced option to find people who can help introduce me, or I can look at other related leads. Over in the centre of the screen, again, we've got information about the organisation that Adam works for. So now I can see information about ANS Group. And again, I've got the option to save that in Sales Nav. And also I can see connections within that organization. So obviously I've got quite a few, but I can see my first degree connections here. I can see my team link connections, and I can see people that I haven't yet connected with, who are second degree connections within LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And again, I can go and have a look at recommended leads, and I can see news and information that A&S are posting within LinkedIn as well. What I really like about this is the InMail capability, which is embedded directly in the screen here. So you can see here that Adam responded to a message that I sent him, but what I can do now is just send Adam another message. Just say, hope you're still okay for 5 p.m. today. So now I can send that as a LinkedIn InMail, and hopefully in a moment we'll see a response back. While we're waiting for that, what I'm going to do very quickly is nip over to the relationship analytics. So we saw in the summary screen, we saw that Dynamics 365 is using relationship analytics to evaluate the status of the relationship between myself and Adam. And the way that that's doing that is it's looking at all of the interactions in LinkedIn, Dynamics 365 and Office 365. In the relationship analytics tab, it's kind of collating all of that information into one screen, and it's coming up with a relationship score effectively. So this is where I can see the status of the relationship. I can see all of the interactions between myself and Adam, so all of the emails, meetings, phone calls. I can see how much time I've spent on the relationship and how much time Adam has spent. Here I can see a summary of the email engagement. So Adam's opened all of my emails, but he hasn't viewed my attachments or clicked on any of my embedded links. And then you'll also be able to see response rates and response times. So how quickly does someone respond to you? And how quickly are you responding to them? And then you can see how they're being most contacted. So you can see whether it's by email, phone, or whether it's through meetings. And then at the bottom, you'll get a nice little chart that will show you all of the activity you've had with someone. So obviously this is really key in kind of nurturing those relationships. So whether you're using this within a lead or a new prospect, or you're using it with an existing customer, what this is really, really good at is showing you what your level of interaction has been with the customer, what your relationship score is, and really where you need to make some improvements, reach out a bit more. And then it's giving you the tools within LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find all of that background information. Look, we can see that Adam has actually replied. So I can see Adam's response immediately. But it's giving us all of that background information we need to kind of nurture those leads and to improve those relationships with our leads and our existing customers. So what I'll do now is just open the account record. So we've looked at Adam's contact record, and we've looked at the relationship analytics. We've also looked at LinkedIn Sales Navigator against Adam's contact record, but Adam works for A&S. So what I'm going to do now is drill down into the account record for A&S. Excuse me, my screen's a little slow.
I think I've replied twice now, Donna.
Oh, that's okay.
But I'm definitely looking forward to our meeting.
I have to do it with, that's the thing when I'm demoing LinkedIn, I have to do it with someone I know, because if I did do it with Matt at Microsoft a couple of years ago, and I think he thought I was stalking him on LinkedIn, because he just you can see how many times someone's viewed your profile. So it can be a bit embarrassing, which is why I like to use someone who knows that I'm doing it. So this is the account record for A&S. So again, what we can see is the key information about the organisation. I can see there's not been any activity with the account for a while. I can see all of the contacts that I have within the organisation, and then in the middle of the screen again I can see all of the timeline, all of the interactions, so all of the appointments, emails, phone calls, meetings, etc. that have happened for that organisation. But just another place where we can see that LinkedIn integration is up here in the organisation chart. So what you can do is open the org chart for the account, and it will show you all of the people who you've got set up as contacts within that organisation. And again, if we go and look at Adam, double click, and here I can see just a summary of Adam's information. But again, what's really nice is that LinkedIn Sales Nav functionality is embedded in the form. So I can either open up Adam's profile directly within Sales Navigator, or I can send him an InMail straight from this screen. So again, when you're looking at the people within an organization, you're looking at who they work with, who they report to, who works for them, you can then actually communicate with them or look at more information directly within this window here. And what's really nice is when you open up the Sales Nav piece, again, it's just embedded within this screen, so you can see all of the information in one place without having to open it in Sales Navigator. And you've got access to all of your icebreakers, all of the recent activity, your introductions and your related leads. So it's really nice. Okay, so I've done lots of prep for my meeting now, so I think it's time to actually go off and have my meeting with Adam. So I can go off and have my meeting, and while I'm out, I may want to add some notes, or I may even be running late and need to phone Adam to let him know that I'm going to be late. Now, you've got a couple of options for mobile apps to do this. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I am just going to share my mobile screen with you. Okay, there we go. So let's just get rid of that. So I've actually got my Dynamics 365 app. So what I can do here is I can look at all of my Dynamics data, all of my activities, contacts, leads, opportunities, everything's visible here. If we go and look at Adam's contact record, for example, there we go. So again, exactly the same information that we've seen already, but just visible on my mobile device. So again, I got my relationship status, so I can see all the information there. So what I could do is I can click on the phone icon there and just call Adam directly from here, and the system will capture that I've made a phone call from him. And it depends on your preferences, but the other option is actually to do it within Sales Nav as well. So so now I'm in the Sales Navigator, LinkedIn Sales Navigator mobile app. And what I can do here is I can add notes. So I can put in a note against Adam. And if you've got CRM Sync turned on, it will synchronize those notes back to Dynamics 365. And also I can make a phone call to Adam as well from here. And again, it will record that call in Dynamics. So depending on what your users prefer to use, whether it's Sales Nav mobile app or Dynamics 365, you can make updates, you can add notes, you can make phone calls, and all of that interaction is going to be captured directly within Dynamics 365 and LinkedIn Sales Navigator without you having to do anything else. So let's just turn off that for the moment. Okay, so I've been out to meet Adam. It all went very well. I've updated some information on my mobile device and gone back to the office now. So what I'll do as well, I'll just quickly pop into Sales Navigator itself. So again, just want to show you here when you're actually using Sales Nav. So from this direction, remember any changes to people that are synchronized in Dynamics 365 will automatically be updated. So when I look at Adam, you know, if he changes his company or updates any of this information, it's automatically synchronized with Dynamics. This is the note I added earlier, which will also get synchronized back to Dynamics if I choose to synchronize it. And that will be when you add a note, you can choose whether it gets synchronized with Dynamics CRM if you have the CRM sync turned on. Similarly, when you send someone a message, you'll notice I can send a message to Adam directly from within Sales Nav, and I can tick here to say that I want that synchronized back to Dynamics. So again, whether I'm working in Dynamics 365 or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, all of that information is going to be synchronized. So everyone within Dynamics 365 can see what I'm doing, and all of my colleagues can see what I'm working on, but all of that data is being updated and maintained. Okay, and then I just wanted to quickly show you the Smart Links capabilities. So this is the link that I gave you earlier. Yay, 3 people have viewed it, thank you. So this is the Smart Link presentation that I saved. So effectively, Smart Links is just a really nice, easy way to package up content that you can send out to your customers or your prospects. So what you can do is you can, if we just modify that, I'll show you. What you can do literally is just go and add in different types of content. So anything that's, you know, kind of saved on my machine or anywhere, I can just upload that into my smart link, give it a title, and then when I publish that, I can just send that link out to anyone that I want to, and they can come in and actually view all of the content that I've uploaded. So it's really nice, just a really easy way. If you've got a really big PowerPoint presentation, rather than trying to use, you know, transfer or we send it or whatever, you can just create a smart link and send a link out to someone and they can access it through Sales Navigator. But what's also really nice is that you can look at the analytics, and I can see that my colleagues have very kindly gone in and had a look at the smart link, and I can see what they looked at. So Adam, for example, looked at this one for 3 seconds and this one for 5 minutes. So it's just, again, it's another way of seeing how engaged your leads and your customers are with the content that you're sending out to them, and understanding, you know, how interested they are and really how likely it is that you're going to be able to progress with this opportunity. Okay, so that was fairly quick, but hopefully I've given you a flavour for how some of these challenges can be met by professional services organisations. So hopefully you've seen that this will help you simplify your operations, simplify the work that you do, because everything's integrated and streamlined. And by simplifying those operations, it's going to help you enhance your productivity. It's also going to help you nurture relationships. So whether that's finding new leads and looking at all of the information you can about those people, or whether it's nurturing existing relationships with existing customers, it's going to help you improve those relationships and really focus on where the weak points are. Obviously, it's going to help you increase your collaboration as well, because you've got all of your collaboration tools with Office 365 and Dynamics 365 at your fingertips. And in turn, all of these kind of improvements in operational efficiency will hopefully help you increase billable hours, but also perhaps more importantly is increase your customers' experience with you. Okay, that's it from me. So I don't know if we've got any questions so far.
There's been a couple of questions, Donna, that I'll Team Link. What does that do?
You might want to talk through that one, Adam.
Well, I can answer the question. That's the key. So in professional services organisations, what we often see is lots of people have lots of connections, and what Team Links within LinkedIn allows you to do is extend it to the connections of your connections of your connections. So if I give you an example of one of our current customers at the time, they are trying to sell into Procter & Gamble, but the current division don't have any relationships. So they look on the Team Link to find out that actually throughout that organization, they've actually got several thousand connections into Procter & Gamble, and therefore can get introductions via their teams into the people that they might want to speak to.
Thank you.
Other one was Power BI.
Yeah, which I just realised I forgot to show.
You saw that. Must have
Yes.
seen that already then.
Yeah, so there is a standard solution that you can get from the store within Microsoft, and it's effectively a LinkedIn Sales Navigator analytics solution. Now this one is connected. This is using dummy data, but you can connect it to your own organisation to pull through the actual information. So this is my report. So it's given me some usage metrics around Sales Navigator. So I can see how many profiles have been viewed, how many emails and messages have been sent, how many leads have been saved, how many connections have been made. If I go into the search tab, I can see 380,000 searches have been performed, who's out of my sales team are performing the most searches, who's viewing the most profiles. Then I've got similar metrics, but this time in relation to InMail. So here I can see how many emails have been sent, who's actually sending them, also when people are sending them, and when they're most successful. So that's interesting information. And then also I've got the SSI breakdown as well. But what's great is obviously with Power BI, you can choose any of these different metrics and you can add them into a dashboard. So what I've done is I've created a LinkedIn dashboard, but then I've actually pulled that through into Dynamics. So if I just go into my Dynamics dashboards, you'll see here I've actually got my LinkedIn Sales Nav dashboard. So people don't have to be using Power BI. I can just choose which metrics are most important and create them in my own dashboard and make that available directly through Dynamics 365.
Okay, thanks, Donna. So that's the half an hour up that we promised. Any information that you need, obviously contact your A&S account manager, and don't forget to register to listen to Mark Sykes, one of the partners at BDO, on the 3rd of September. I'm sure you'll be getting an email from us soon. So thank you very much for your time. Hope you find somewhere cool for the rest of your day, and hope you enjoyed the presentation. Many thanks.
Thank you.